I don't like uncertainty. I really struggle with it. I would rather know than not know. And uncertainty brings out my anxiety. So when I was much younger, being in an ambiguous state was so uncomfortable that I would aim straight for an answer, trying to skip over all of that unknowing that goes into good decision making. So I'd act fast to avoid anxiety, resulting in a lot of poor decisions based on very limited information, only to meet anxiety on the other side as I'd learn more and realize the mistakes I was making. So this also meant that I spent a lot of time living in the future, all in my head, of course, that ready-made future that skipped all the hard work and decisions that would actually achieve that future. And I've had to learn over and over again throughout the years the lesson that it's okay to live with uncertainty, that not knowing the future is not a failure, but reality. It's okay to not know, to not have the answers, to be confused. And that is part of the process of discernment and making choices. And of course, right now, when our certainty is caused by these enormous outside factors, like a global pandemic, it really does help to be able to accept the unknown and turn towards the present moment to live in the now. We don't know what the future will look like, as the readings this morning reminded us. We don't know what will happen as the pandemic gets under control and we start to reopen. Are we really going to go back to normal? Some things will be different. We may go back to our old habits of how we were, but we also may be looking to hold on to new ones. How we interact in community is going to shift. And I know that I've actually appreciated very much some of the quiet that's been created by the pandemic lockdown. The sense of spaciousness offered my spirit by spending more time at home and less commuting. The lowering of expectations has been a gift. There's been a release of pressure that I didn't even realize was there before. I don't have to be up on the latest of anything. I'm not missing out on special experiences. I can just live and focus on staying connected to those I love. And I've come to appreciate the spaciousness of uncertainty, of not making decisions quickly to get them over with, being okay with not knowing the future, and just being here now. And I'm going to take a minute now in silence and ask you to consider your experiences over the lockdown. Have there been any gifts within this struggling, terrible time that you found? Is there a way that you're living now that you appreciate and would like to hold on to even as we open up and reconnect? And we're just going to take a minute to think. My hope is that we all find ways to hold on to any gifts, any nourishing of the spirit that we found during this strange time. Now, I know that my anxiety hasn't ever gone away entirely, and particularly right now it flares when I hear news about the worsening climate crisis or see the breakdown of democracy in countries around the world. But I am also able to find comfort in the thought that it is precisely because the future is unknown that we can help shape it with our choices today. That unknownness, that lack of certainty, opens up that space for opportunity, for working together, for making choices towards the future we would like. And so it reminds me that I can make choices each and every day that align with my values by taking the time to make them consciously and with care. And I can work with others who share my same concerns, have the same vision for the future, and we can work together to scale up our influence. As well, when I remind myself to live in the present moment, even with that uncertain future looming, that helps. By learning to accept myself with all of my complicated emotions, I can find my way to happiness, even with all the uncertainty and impermanence and strangeness. I find when I don't resist that internal struggle, when I'm kind to myself and accept myself where I'm at, even if it is full of anxiety or worried about what might come or frustrated, whatever it is, that acceptance allows that struggle to smooth out. So I can check in with myself and pay attention to how I'm doing in a moment. And when I am really struggling, I find that attention to myself in that moment helps ground me, paying attention to the sounds that are around me, to the sights that are around me, the scents, seeking into my body and place. That helps. Be here now. It's so easy to say and so hard to do. As humans, we're very future oriented, and we spend a lot of time in the past as well. And so to be here now takes practice. It's a practice we have to keep on trying. It doesn't always work, but is so valuable when we can get there. Because the future may be uncertain, but the present moment is always right here, right now. And by accepting ourselves as we are, making our choices consciously and paying attention to the present moment, we can relax into a happiness that's found even in the midst of all of these unknowns. And so in the summer days to come, may we all remember that it is a blessing to be here, a blessing to be here now. So say we all.